So good morning children. So in the previous video we have been discussing and revising about autotrophic nutrition. Hope all of you have revised that very well and prepared for the exam. And I hope it's really nice, okay, that you have enjoyed. So now we shall continue with the next part, that is revision of heterotrophic nutrition. On page number 7, I had stopped there that day. We have to start that. Okay. Now, as I was talking about the autotrophic nutrition, then I told about another type, that is heterotrophic nutrition, and also this heterotrophic nutrition is also equally important for the autotrophic plants. Okay, how it is, you may wonder, isn't it? I told about heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotroph means they are not able to make their own food. They'll synthesize they are dependent on other organisms for the food. So when we are talking about that, this one important type of bacteria are there. Okay, bacteria as well as some algae are also there, which will increase the soil fertility. Okay, algae are able to make their own food because they are green plants, but there are some bacteria. When I talk about bacteria, what do you remember? Yes, we think that okay, bacteria is very poisonous, it will cause diseases to us. We think about all this, isn't it? So we keep washing our hands regularly, we keep the surroundings neat and clean, isn't it? So these bacteria, some of them are dangerous, they can cause diseases. But there are bacteria which are good. Okay, they will help us, especially they help the farmer. Okay, how they help the farmer? They'll fix the nitrogen. Okay, they will fix the atmospheric nitrogen. So in the atmosphere surrounding us, the air is there, in that 78% nitrogen is there. So this nitrogen the plants cannot take, but they need lot of nitrogen. Okay, so they cannot directly take from the air. In the previous video I told that they are able to take carbon dioxide easily from the air, but nitrogen they are not able to take like that. So then how they will take? So that nitrogen is converted, is changed into a form that the plants can take up. That is done by the bacteria. And where is that bacteria? Only in some plants, in the roots of some plants. We have got those specimens also. Okay, when you come to the school, we have got wonderful specimens. I will show you those roots. Okay, those roots in which the bacteria lives. Now I cannot take that specimen from the lab. Okay, but when you come to the school, I shall certainly show that. So in those root nodules, in the roots, the bacteria will live. So this bacteria will convert the atmospheric nitrogen into this usable form that they can make use and make their own food. So that nutrition. So when we are growing so many crops, at that time the nitrogen is lost from the soil. They are using that. But the soil should have more nitrogen so that in the next crop it should be there. For that, what the farmers do? They grow the rice crop first or the wheat crop. After that, they will grow the pulses or groundnuts. Okay, so these plants, that is groundnuts, they are called as the leguminous crops. Okay, they are called as the leguminous crops or plants that are leguminous crops. That means all, how we can remember? This word is really difficult for you all, isn't it? How we can remember this? We can remember with the help of pulses or pea family. You all are having the surnames and your family name, isn't it? So like that we have this pea family, green peas, all the pulses, that is dals, different dals you all eat, groundnuts, all these plants belong to this leguminous crops or the pea family. So they have the special roots inside which the bacteria lives. So that bacteria helps in increasing the soil fertility. It will absorb the nitrogen and give to the plant. And example is rhizobium. It is rhizobium, children. Okay, I can give this as a multiple choice. Okay, so this is rhizobium. Next one. So here why I am talking about the rhizobium now? Reason. Why? Yes, because it is heterotrophic. That means it is not making the food. Then how it will eat the food? Heterotrophic. It will not eat the food. It will not make the food, but it will take the food from others. How it will take? It will take the food from the plants. Okay, takes food. Okay, and what it is giving to the plant? What it is giving to the plant? Okay, it is taking the food from the plant. What it is giving? It is giving the nitrogen. It gives the nitrogen to the plant. So in this, what do we find between the plant and bacteria? What do we find? These two are the friends or not? These two are the friends. It is taking food from the plant. It is taking food from the plant. Okay, it takes food from the plant and gives the nitrogen to the plant. As both of them are living together inside the root, so it is taking the food and also shelter. Okay, it is taking the food and shelter. So from this, what we understand, these two are living together. Okay, as they are living together, we say that they are the friends. How we can remember this? What is the biological word I have to use for these friends? I have to use the word symbiotic. Symbiotic. Okay, this is symbiotic nutrition. Symbiotic nutrition means once is okay, or I say symbiotic relationship. We say that it is symbiotic relation. Okay, where one is dependent on the other. Okay, that is symbiotic relation. Okay, children. So we see that one of the types of heterotrophs. Here, the bacteria, that is rhizobium, is one of the types of heterotrophs where it shows symbiotic relationship. Okay, next one we shall go to the next type. Okay, okay. See, when we are affected by a disease, what happens? The bacteria or the fungi or anything enters into the body, the virus, and it causes disease in us. At that time, is it doing good to us or bad? It is doing bad to us. Whereas the virus or the bacteria is getting benefited. Okay, what is that benefit? It is getting the food, energy, it is able to live. Okay, I understand. Okay, it is a parasite. When it is causing any disease to us, I say that it is parasite. But what happens if it is a plant? Have you heard about any such plant? Yes, in the previous videos I have taught. So that is a plant that will grow on other plants. Happily it grows. It doesn't have any leaves, nothing. Happily it lives on other plants. Okay, so such plants, when it lives on other plants and absorbs all the food, nutrition, everything from that plant, it grows happily on another plant. That is called as parasitic nutrition. It is called as parasitic nutrition. So under that, parasitic nutrition. Okay, what is the example I have discussed in the videos also? What is it? It is Cuscuta, or another name for that is the dodder plant. Cuscuta or dodder plant. Okay, so the plant on which it will grow, see, it is grown on a mango tree, then the mango tree will be called as a host, and Cuscuta is the parasite, then it is called as, it is will be called as parasite. It will be called as a parasite. Okay, so here I have discussed about all that earlier. Next we go to another one, that is Rafflesia. Another example for that is what? Rafflesia. What is the speciality of Rafflesia? What is the example? What is the speciality of Rafflesia? It is having the largest flower. Okay, for that also you have to remember largest flower. Okay, as it is the largest flower, but it is a parasitic plant. Grows in the forests of Malaysia. Okay, but what it does, it will give the smell of rotten meat and gives the smell up to say 1 kilometer. So the insects are attracted, they all come to the flower where they are trapped and eat it off. Okay, next one we shall see about a partial parasite. Partial means it doesn't have, is not fully dependent upon the host plant for everything. Okay, only for certain requirements it is dependent, then it is called as partial parasite. Example is mistletoe. The example is mistletoe. Understood, children? Is mistletoe. Okay, next one we shall see. Next one we shall see is insectivorous plants. Okay, after that we shall see the insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants, that means it is very, insectivorous plants are those which will be eating the insects. What are those plants? Examples: pitcher plant, Venus flytrap, isn't it? Examples: pitcher plant, Venus flytrap. Pitcher plant, Venus flytrap. Okay. Next we have the saprophytic plants. Next we have saprophytic. What are those? All these examples that I am telling, you must remember. What are the examples? Just see these, children. Saprophytic, what example can we give? All the mushrooms, okay, another example for this is monotropa. Okay, what is the speciality of these saprophytes? They eat dead and decaying. Whatever is dead, that they would be eating. Okay. Venus flytrap. Why it eats why do they eat insects? Trap insects. Why? For the fulfillment of nitrogen. For that they would be eating. Okay, next we have seen that. Here earlier I have told about the symbiotic. Do you remember? I have not shown here. Another example of symbiotic. Another example, what is that? Another example I have told already. I told about rhizobium. Apart from that, another example, that is lichen. That is lichen. This also we have got in our lab now. To show you all, it is there. Even this insectivorous plant model also we have got. Okay, we have got this one, we have got that one, I have got the rhizobium also. Okay, lichen and rhizobium. All these things we have purchased for our lab. Okay, so you can show all these things when you come to the school, or at least afterwards I shall be showing in the video. Okay, children. So one quick practical look I will give you all next time. Okay, so this is about rhizobium, lichens, and we have completed this part. So in autotrophic nutrition, what are the different types? That is parasitic, where they will eat they are dependent on the host plant fully because they cannot make the food. Example is cuscuta. Partial parasite, mistletoe, where they are not fully dependent on the host plant. For certain requirements, they are dependent on the host plant. Next, insectivorous plants. They are having the green leaves, able to undergo photosynthesis, but still in the soil where they are growing, what is less? Nitrogen. So to fulfill that nitrogen, they are trapping the insect. They trap the insects and take the nitrogen, because the skin of the insects will have lot of nitrogen. Okay, next one is saprophytic. In saprophytic, what will happen? Examples is mushrooms and monotropa. They depend upon the dead and decaying organisms. Okay, and last one, that is symbiotic. Examples are lichens and rhizobium. In lichen, what live together? Algae and fungi. The example is, the two organisms that live together is algae plus fungi. Okay, rhizobium, I told that it lives in the roots of the pea plant. Okay, like this we have seen the different examples. Okay, so you should remember all these. Next we shall see about any questions. Okay, so here I shall be asking, which of the following cannot prepare its own food? Children tell. Mushroom, pitcher plant, cuscuta, all of these. What are the options? Mushroom, pitcher plant, cuscuta, all of these. So the option is all of these, because mushroom cannot make, because why? Mushroom is saprophyte. Pitcher is what? Here I have shown, insectivorous. Then cuscuta, already I told it is parasitic. So it is all of these. The option is all of these. Next one, which of the following are supported by the stomata present in the lower surface? Already this one is over. Which of the following plants has rhizobium in its root nodules? Peas, bean, gram, all. So bean and gram. Beans we all eat, isn't it? That also belongs to the pea family only. Gram, different types of pappu you eat, dal you eat. Okay, tur dal or arhar dal, chana dal, moong dal, urad dal, all these are the dals. So they are all having the rhizobium in the root nodules. Okay, so the option is all. Okay, next one we shall see. Dash is an example of a nitrogen fixing bacteria. Which one? It is rhizobium. It is rhizobium. Okay, already I told. Next one, dash plant has the biggest and the heaviest flower. Which one? I already told so many times, isn't it? What is it? It is Rafflesia. Next one, a tissue cord. This one is over. Okay, the next one is cuscuta absorbs nutrients from the host using special stem. Is it correct? What we have to do the correction? We have to cut the stem and write it as root. Okay. Next one, the association between rhizobium and roots of legumes help microbes only. They help both. They help both. Okay. Because rhizobium is getting the food and shelter and the plant is getting nitrogen. So it is helping both. Okay. Then partial parasites can prepare their own food. Here it has given cannot. We have to change it to can. Prepare their own food, but and depend on other plants for need of water and minerals. But they also but they depend on other plants for food and water. They depend other plants for the need of water and minerals. Okay, like that. Next one, match the following is given in page number 12. That is cuscuta. What it is? It will be cuscuta. It is a parasitic plant. Then pitcher plant. It is an insectivorous plant. Green plants. They are autotrophs. Food stored in plants. Starch. Rhizobium. It is a bacteria. Okay, or rhizobium is a bacteria. Okay. Next one. Here I have completed these ones. Okay. So you have to remember the definition of that. You have to remember the necessary conditions of photosynthesis. Okay, all the activities you must remember very well without forgetting, so that you can do very well in the exam. Anywhere else you have got the doubt, you can ask. So here, as I told, we are going to conduct the test, isn't it? It is mostly multiple choice only. Okay. and there will be 25 questions from both the lessons, that is PS and NS. NS there could be 12 questions or 13 questions. If NS is 12, PS will be 13, 1 mark here and there. So we'll be giving all MCQs, we'll be giving it through an app. Okay, we'll tell which app to use, and these marks that you get, they'll be counted for your internal assessments. Okay, they are needed. Okay, in CBSE also we'll have these internal assessments. Okay, you have the pre-mid, mid, post-mid like that. So we shall be considering these marks for your pre-mid exams. So please, all of you must attend. This year you are not going to have any 0 year. You are going to have a normal year. Normal means academic year. Now you are not able to come to the school, but later you shall be coming to the school. So you must attend these video classes and please write the exams. We will be compiling all the exams and sending back. And how to open, install, all that we shall be sending a message later on. Okay, children. So like this, we have completed our revision of the first chapter, that is nutrition in the plants. Okay, in the next videos, Deepa teacher will revise her lesson, that is heat and temperature. After that, together we shall be giving one demo how you can do the revision, or we may plan to have a mock test. With the help of your parents, you can write that test. Okay, keep the time and you can write the test. Okay, children, thank you for now.